Hello. Make sure it's recording. Okay, it's recording. I just
The blooper reel, the blooper reel. I'm here for it.
Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Nicole. I run Crooked along with Jesse. Today we're here with Broken Rainbow Art. They're an artist based in Jersey, and she helps manage events at Over the Moon Studios. How was Broken Rainbow Art started?
So, thank you for having me, Nicole. I appreciate
Yeah.
you taking the time. So, Broken Rainbow is like a big concept, actually. I lost my job in 2019, always been a creative, and I was given a gift of 6 months of kind of diving back into it without having to worry about work. Like most artists, they kind of stem away from their artwork because they're busy with actual work in order to survive out in these streets. So, Broken Rainbow kind of came from the pits of a depression after losing my job. What am I going to do? How do I stay positive? So, the one thing that always ends up happening is you get to see storms come through, but there's always a rainbow that comes through. So, no matter how broken you feel, your rainbow will still shine. So, that's the concept of Broken Rainbow art.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you get into pouring paint to make art?
So, like I said, I've always been a creative. I've colored, I've drawn, I've done like traditional acrylic painting. Um, the coloring has always been the standard. Um, so, like, with the pandemic, like most people, they kind of just like went into this deep scroll of like, what can I do with all this extra time that I have? I mean, like I said, I lost my job only 4 months before the pandemic happened. So then I was given even more time, as unfortunate as it was, to be able to dive even deeper. So finding that and getting into that, it helped get me out of even the deeper depression that we were all put in during that time. And I have a sense of control. I like to control things. I can't control paint pouring. It kind of has a mind of its own. So the one thing I do have control over are the colors that I choose. Outside of that, you just kind of have to let it happen. So it also helps in that aspect of me letting go on top of that. So
Oh, I love that.
thanks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm loving you. Um, are there pieces or patterns that are harder to make than others?
So I prefer to work on a wood base. It's more absorbent. Canvas is always tricky. Because like I said, you can't really predict what happens with paint pouring. If you use too much paint, your canvas can sink. If you don't use enough paint, it won't go off to the edge and it won't end up getting the design that you had wholeheartedly thought you can get. There is a science with paint pouring as well. So, like the temperature of the room matters, where you dry it matters, um, the levels of paint mixture with paint medium that you do. That all generates how it's going to end up coming out. So, it really just depends on the day and in the environment how difficult it's going to be to really pour on a piece. But wood is my favorite, no matter what temperature it is. It always will absorb very quickly. It dries very quickly, and it's just sturdier and better when it comes to like having to hang it on a wall. Yeah.
Um, how did you get into helping manage events at Over the Moon Studios?
So my over the moon journey started about 2 years ago. Um, they had small spaces available on the front. Now, over the moon, most people in Asbury Park know the location as a coffee shop. It used to be called High Voltage. And it was acquired during the pandemic, so it didn't really open to the public until like we were all able to kind of be out in the public, really. Um, and at first, there was about 3 or 4 resident artists, and then Megan, who is the owner of Over the Moon Studios, she extended the back and redid the back in order to accommodate about 10 or 12 artists. So now there's 10 or 12 resident artists that work out of there. And I want to say about a year and a half ago, a little short to a year and a half ago, we did have a couple like small events. Like they do birthday parties at Over the Moon. They do have like kids class art classes. We offer workshops for all different types of mediums, watercolor to like polymer clay classes. We even have artists that will come and rent space to give a workshop of their particular art expertise. So it didn't start picking up more with events after um, a group called Asbury Park. Uh, I'm saying this wrong. AP Sober Socials. I'm sorry, my loves. I'm sorry, I stumbled on your name. Asbury Park Sober Socials. They threw one of the first events that we had at Over the Moon. That kind of like kick-started just opening the doors for like DIY events. And with the unfortunate closing of House of Independence, a lot of local bands were seeking new and like unique places to have shows. And you know, it literally takes a village to do any kind of idea that you have. And Megan runs it. She teaches. She does it all. So being a helping hand when I'm already a part of the community that is Over the Moon, it just felt natural for me to kind of like jump in and be like, all right, I want to see this place really excel. I really want to be a part of what ends up happening here. And it just makes me feel better as a whole too, as I'm, dealing with my depression, my anxiety, and like getting back into social things after the pandemic was really difficult for me, still really difficult for me. And I was a social butterfly before. So it's really given me that environment to be more of myself and then feel like I'm also contributing to like a really good thing in Asbury Park.
I'm so happy for you. Good
Thank
for
you.
Yeah.
It's really amazing there.
Yeah, I'm glad. What's something you're looking forward to this year?
So there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to this year. Just expanding my artwork more. Well, I can't really say unfortunately. I did get a promotion at work. Unfortunately, it's taking up a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to create as much as I would like to. The winter months are always a really slow time for me anyway, because if it's too cold, my paint will crack when it's trying to dry. So it's like, do I really want to waste the time to like make a lot of things in the winter when I can thrive in the spring?
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to all the warmer months to come and the pieces that I have underneath my belt that I'm going to get out there. I have a couple series that are in the works that I've slowly been doing when I've had time. But I want to curate more events. I have some friends out in New York City that throw underground bass music events, drum and bass primarily, and I love vending with them. And I want to hopefully collaborate and do like an art music thing with them, just to kind of bring both communities together. Um, Help Over the Moon get more events. We love having the people there. People enjoy having their time there. No matter what it is, if you have a DIY event and you want a DIY event, call Over the Moon Studios. Come to us. We would love to have you. Outside of that, just networking more, being more present in the community, being kind of far away. I'm based in Edison primarily. It's where I live, but I travel to Asbury Park maybe 2, 3 times a week. So anything that can keep me involved and keep me there more, eventually I can migrate. Get me to migrate down there. Give me more reasons. And eventually that can end up happening in the future. So I'm just going to try to set up blocks to make that happen. And I'm really looking forward to like all the new people I'm going to meet in this next year, because I met so many just being a part of Over the Moon. So yeah, it's a great benefit. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a little excited. Thank you for doing this.
No, of course.
Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to see what happens with you.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Yeah, for sure. See you next time.
Bye.
The ending is always really awkward. And it's like, okay, we're